Very few superstar pro wrestlers in WWE's history have ever felt as inevitable, as dominant as Roman Reigns. As the road to the 2026 Royal Rumble unfolds, everything about the current landscape of WWE right now seems to point in one massive, unavoidable conclusion for fans of the Tribal Chief. Their Tribal Chief needs to win the Royal Rumble. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kellum. Watch this entire video where we break it all down. Yeah. Get in the comments, super punch us with your take on who needs to win the Royal Rumble. Acknowledge us with a like button and turn your notifications on so you know when we drop new videos just like this. Also, share this video with your wrestling buddies. Roman winning the Royal Rumble in Riyadh is not just for himself, not just for one storyline, but for the entire ecosystem of WWE, with the conniving Drew McIntyre taking advantage of a wild situation in Berlin inside the cage. He's now the new WWE champion, taking the title from Cody Rhodes, with CM Punk potentially holding the World Heavyweight title over on Raw, heading into WrestleMania 42, with the shadow of Roman Reigns still looming over everyone. The stage is set for a generational crossroads. The Rumble is the key that unlocks everything. Obviously, you win the Royal Rumble, you get a title shot at WrestleMania. If you don't know, now you know that. Also, at the heart of this discussion is the unfinished business between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. They're tied together by fate at this point, and a lot of people have been rumoring that a major third WrestleMania match between them could be in the works. The story began in earnest at WrestleMania 39 when Cody came within inches of finishing the story, only for Roman and the Bloodline to cheat, interfere, and rip it away from him in the most shocking, emotionally draining ending in WrestleMania history. That night didn't kill Cody's momentum, it multiplied it. Fans were furious, heartbroken, and completely invested in the American Nightmare, finishing the story as he called it. When Cody finally beat Roman at WrestleMania 40, it felt like a payoff of a 2-year emotional journey. It humbled Roman. It made his long-sustaining cheating to win every title defense, corruption of power, and the Bloodline fall down quite a bit. It made him mortal. It is the most significant defeat in his career. As we've seen in pro wrestling's history, the greatest rivalries are truly never finished with one win apiece. Roman beat Cody on the biggest stage. Cody returned the favor and had the biggest WrestleMania ending we can recall in recent memory. That leaves one obvious conclusion. We need a third match to decide who truly stands above the other. Since then, the situation has become more unstable as their paths have taken unexpected turns. The entire main event scene is very much shaken up right now, with Drew McIntyre overthrowing Cody Rhodes to become the new WWE champion. Cody is no longer in control all of a sudden. Now, Roman's return to the title image entails more than just pursuing Cody. It also means entering a battlefield where McIntyre stands tall and challenges everyone to challenge him for the throne. Roman must decide whether to shock everyone by challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title, and that's if Punk is still the champion by WrestleMania 42, or challenge Drew for the WWE Championship in an attempt to reclaim the title he feels that is rightfully his, that he is entitled to. Either option is enormous. Roman versus Drew for the WWE Championship feels like a collision of titans, two ruthless, battle-tested warriors flipping the script from their previous battles over the championship when Roman had the title, each built like a final boss and convinced that the company revolves around them. Yes, astronomical egos are important in big main event wrestling. Drew would represent the enraged, defiant champion who clawed his way to the top, even by devious means, and cheating Cody out of the title with some interference. Roman would represent a returning emperor, a man wishing to regain what he ruled years before, reclaiming his empire at its true form. That match alone feels like a WrestleMania main event, and they've had some bangers in the past, and Mania would add some different magic. On the other hand, Roman choosing Punk would be one of the more shocking, fascinating twists on the road to WrestleMania. They have a lot of history that can be played on from years ago, but the connective tissue that brings them together is their former advocate for both men, Paul Heyman, but he's busy with the vision. Looming over all of this is Cody Rhodes, the possibility of a darker turn in his story. With Drew having taken the WWE Championship from him, the American Nightmare is no longer a triumphant hero. He is a fallen protagonist, yes. So there is a very real possibility that Cody could decide that if he can't beat the system as a pure hero anymore, he'll bend the system. Imagine Cody Rhodes using heel tactics to take the WWE Championship back from Drew. Yes, that long talked about Cody Rhodes' heel turn before WrestleMania. If Cody becomes a champion again through questionable means, suddenly the entire dynamic with Roman would change. Now, Roman isn't just facing the man who finished his story, he's facing a man who has compromised his ideals to stay on top, no different than Roman did in the past. If that version of Cody were to meet Roman at WrestleMania and defeat him again, it would ultimately cement his heel status. Beating Roman Reigns twice on the grandest stage for Cody Rhodes, especially in an outright villainous way this time around, would instantly transform Cody into one of the more complex and controversial top names in pro wrestling. And it all starts with Roman winning the Royal Rumble and setting that path in motion. Beyond the rivalries, it's clear that Roman Reigns deserves maybe another world title reign, but it's harder in practice to sustain that with his part-time schedule. His previous run wasn't just lengthy, it was historic. For over 3 years, he was the central figure around whom WWE revolved, even when he wasn't present on a specific show. He wasn't merely a champion, but a benchmark. Every challenger felt like they faced an unbeatable boss fight. He defeated everyone: legends, emerging stars, part-timers, full-timers. He had the entire bloodline built around him to sustain it. His reign surpassed 1,000 days and continued placing him among wrestling's most legendary champions, and such dominance doesn't fade quietly into history. It builds up expectations for what he does next. When Roman finally lost the title, it felt like the end of an era, and it truly was. But not the end of the character. Roman Reigns doesn't feel like a man who's content to just be a special attraction forever. Also, Roman Reigns returning, possibly in this scenario we're laying out, as a full-time world champion is more important to SmackDown than anything else. The show has felt different since he moved away from being the main attraction, lacking a gravitational center. Not to say that it's empty. Roman gave the blue brand importance. It seemed like something significant was about to happen when he was advertised. The segments with him felt larger. Matches had a grander significance. The show had a long-running plot, extremely uncommon in contemporary wrestling, and well executed by Triple H and his creative team thanks to the entire Bloodline saga. Now, is that something you can do again and make it different? Are you going to have more time with Roman and actually have him present to pull it off? We know that's also questionable. Outside of the narratives, Roman Reigns is generally regarded as one of the frontrunners to win the 2026 Royal Rumble, but fan expectations and betting odds favor him as well. That is significant because it demonstrates how easily people can discern the structure of this story. Every component is present: the competition, the titles, the unresolved past. It sets the stage for Cody's potential dark turn, a confrontation between two men whose entire careers seem now inseparably linked. The 2026 Royal Rumble serves as the ideal starting point for this era of Roman Reigns. When Reigns emerges victorious and points at that WrestleMania sign, you have to point at the sign. It will transcend a simple win. It'll mark the moment the entire WWE fanbase shifts their focus back to the Tribal Chief. What do you think? You watched the whole video. Subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling for more content just like this. Get in the comments below. Tell us if you agree or who you think should win the Royal Rumble.